Right, welcome to part 7 of Project PAHOOT. Now, due to the way I'm filming this before I've even finished doing what I'm supposed to be doing, so with any luck the body will be off at the end of this video, but as of right now it isn't, because the car has moved again. I've now moved right near the workshop. That's the workshop there, that door. So now I'm in this barn. As you can see, the body is still on, and this is my new container. Okay, that's me, and we have the list. So this, as it stands now, that is a list of everything I need to do to get the body off. So if I do those things and the scimitar gods are with me, just turn this light off, and the scimitar gods are with me, I should be able to lift the body off, and then at the end of this video I will be jumping up and down and rejoicing because the body will be up here and the chassis will be down there. I will also look a lot different by the end of the video because today is the 31st, which is Halloween, but tomorrow is November, which is the start of November, and I'm taking part in November, and I'm going to shave all my beard off and leave a ridiculous moustache behind. So in the interests of continuity, I'm filming this bit now so I don't suddenly appear with a moustache at some point in the video and people wonder why. But yep, we've got quite a fair bit of progress done. I have done quite a chunk of it already as of filming this, so we fulfill that list and that should be it then. But so I'm edging closer and closer to the workshop, so well, shall we crack on now? You'll see all the bits I've done, all the cutting and grinding and swearing and head banging and everything, and then, like I say, with any luck, I will have the body off. My ninja's farting at me. I will have the body off by the end of the video, but things always happen or don't happen, so we will see. Well, it turns out that this side is significantly more of a pain in the dick than the other side. So, you can see my little bolts down here I've got to get out. There's one here and there's one, to get my light in, there's one down here as well, it's got an earth on it. And the other side I snapped one bolt and then cut the other one. But the problem I've got is, let me get my torch under it, is access. I can't get the grinder in here without cutting a big chunk of that bodywork out there. So I'm going to have to hope that the bolts snap when I undo them. Otherwise, I'm going to end up cutting big chunks of bodywork. I mean, it's not the end of the world, it's only fiberglass, I can repair it. But I don't want to, really. I mean, ideally, I'd like to not have to cut bolts out. But they are all rusty and they are imperial, so they need updating to proper metric. So I'm going to stop trying to put that on my head. Proper metric bolts would be nice, so at least all my tools fit. So I'm going to see what I can do here. Let's see if I can work out a way of... These don't look as rusty, so I'm going to hope I can probably undo them or snap them out. But we shall endeavour. All is not lost. A bit of an update on the front end situation. I've got the main body bolts out both sides. Engine earth, there's another one down there. I've next got to get the brake lines off, but I didn't bring the right spanner up here with me for that. And also universal joint for the steering has got to be disconnected. And the remainder of the throttle cable. So a little thing there that I didn't bring, again, didn't bring the right spanners up for me. I only brought a small selection up because the workshop's a few hundred yards down there. But I was quite happy with the bolts on the passenger side that didn't need grinding out. They actually came out quite well. Didn't snap, unlike the other side. But I'm thinking, when I put it back together, where these plates go in here, I'm going to weld captive nuts onto the plates and just bolt through from underneath, and then I don't have to stand there having a socket on either side. It should make it a lot easier, and they'll be metric, because everything should be metric nowadays. Lots of random bolts and stuff knocking around in here, but hopefully, I'm hoping they're the biggest ball ache of the bodywork to do. There's, I think there's 4 inside or 6 inside. I know there's 2 in the boot, which I think are going to be an absolute nightmare, because somewhere down here, and oh, there it is. But it goes into the chassis underneath, and there's like a disco here, like a scallop section that you've got to get up into to get on the other side of it. So I can probably see me cutting them off on the top and just letting them drop through, and then I'll probably do the same again when I put it back together. I'll captive them onto the underneath of the chassis, excuse me, and just bolt through from one side, just so you're only ever doing one bit of tightening and not two. So I've kind of run out of time now. I'm going to chuck the cover over it and do a bit more another day. Hopefully get all the other interior bolts out, but I'm going to need to get it into the workshop before I take the steering knuckle off, because once that is off it effectively becomes immobile, because the steering wheel will stay attached in the body, and obviously the steering rack will still be attached to the chassis, so I'll have to work out a way of towing it between here and the workshop without having someone sitting in it. So I'll rig up to basically turn it into a trailer. Not like I'm not exactly short of trailers and stuff I can make something out of, but that's a job for when the body's off. So yeah, I'll leave it now, cover it up, come back fresh, get the rest of the bolts out, hopefully get it on the ramp, get the body off. I'm a lot closer now than I was last time. I've been saying for ages, I'm going to get the body off, I'm going to get the body off. I've actually got some of the bolts out. So we're about 23% of the way there. But we'll see where it goes from here. So I'll come back next time and do some more on it. Well, it's the next day. Well, not actually the next day. It's not the day after the last time you saw me, but it's the next time I've actually got the hold of the car. It's now on the ramp, as you can see. We're up on the lift, and I've made a conscious decision that all of the bolts holding the body in are going to get chopped, because that's just one of them that I attempted to remove before, and it snapped the minute I put any kind of pressure on it. So I am just going to cut every single thing, because they're all rusty. None of them are going back in. I say everything's getting placed with metric stuff anyway. So let's get the grinder out, and hopefully, well, this body's ready to go then. So let's fire that grinder up and get chopping. Right, well, I've cut out the four main bolts that hold the body or the roll hoop of the body, which is, they were here, these bad boys. I've had to cut them off because they were absolutely atrocious. I'm not looking forward to doing these here, which are the seatbelt bolts. That one is kind of loose. I have to cut them from the inside. But I think cutting them was definitely the best course of action. And I'm quite concerned that some of the chassis has come away. So there's the brackets. I'll just remake them. They're easy enough to do. It's just some bits of plate. But that is quite concerning. Let's see that there. That was a piece of box section. So I think there is actually going to be some welding on this chassis. But if that's all there is, a 50-year-old car, I'm not complaining about that. So that looks, with it being a box section like that, that's structural. It's not just like a little piece come off. It may well be alright once I lift the body off. It might just be it's flaked and I can just plate over it. But I can't see high up enough into the chassis to see. So the next job now, we lower it down and cut all the bolts out on the inside, and then we resort to the book of lies and general mistruths to find out what else needs disconnecting kind of electronically, or electronically, it's got no electronics in it, electrical and here and there. I've seen one thing, which is this here, which is the pipe work for the rear washers. That's, assuming if I just disconnect it there and then pull it down at the other end, which is somewhere down here. Yeah, that's it. No, that's the speedo cable. Pull this out as well, which is the other end of it. Then that'll be fine. Speedo cable is actually disconnected inside the car, so I'll pull that down through the dash and drag that down here. And that should be it. So I've got to cut the seatbelt anchors off. They're getting binned anyway because they're old and useless. And cut out the seat bolts. Not the seat bolts, the rest of the body bolts. And then hopefully I'm in a position where I can drop it down and shove the lift under the arches and slowly start raising it up. Oh, actually no, forget. There's the steering knuckle, which is up there. That little bad boy there, you've got to undo it there. And then separate the column and leave the rest of it inside the car. Well, that's literally all the book of mistruths tells me. So we'll see just how genuine it is. But I'm going to lower it down now and crack on with getting the interior bolts out. Right, so I've got the ones out in the boot. You can see there's a little bit of scuffing damage on the fiberglass, but I'm not actually cut through anything, which doesn't really matter anyway because it's fiberglass, it's repairable. So all these are going to want a good tapping with a hammer just to make sure that they're all out. I lost that one there. There's one here, one there, yeah. And then the others inside. The book of misdirection tells me that I've got to remove the front seats. because 2 of the bolts are down the side of the seat, so I'm not going to get the grinder down there. So I've now got to try and take the seats out as well. So I've got that lot out, get some out in the footwell, and I've got to fight to get the seats out to try and break them out from underneath maybe. And then I've got the seat belt bolts, so I'm probably going to get really butcher them and just cut the whole seatbelt unit to pieces just to get them out, because they're crap anyway. They're old and useless, and they flop around like a dick in a shirt sleeve, so they're I wouldn't be trusting them if I crashed. So we'll get some proper new ones, because they're not expensive, and I can get some proper ones in the back as well, proper inertial real ones as well, so my kids can be safe in the back of it if they ever actually get to go in it. I've done it by that point. They're not too old and too cool to be seen with their dad. But yeah, seats out, and then the rest of the bolts, and then I'll get all the last little bits done. So like I said before, it'd be the washer line, brake lines got to come off, I noticed, heater lines and the steering column, and that's it then. So we're getting closer and closer. I can feel it in my water. Right, little situation update. Passenger seat is now out. All of the carpets are pretty much shagged. They're not going to go anywhere again. I've done my best to try and remove them without destroying them, but they're just, everything's kind of falling apart. You know, they're old and knackered, especially the bits around the door and that, so I'm going to have to replace all them as well. I was trying not to destroy them, but no matter how tenderly you go at them, they just rip. So I think I'm just going to end up ripping them all out and redoing them. So where we're up to, so the seat is out. Let me just move that light so it's not quite as in my face. So you can see the seat holes here. I'm probably just going to, I will probably bond in some metal plates here as a bit of structure. This bolt down here, where is it? There. That one is an absolute shit biscuit to get out. So as you can see, I've cut all I've done. You can just about see I have cut a hole around it with a hole saw into the body, and I will just fiberglass that hole back over and re-drill it afterwards. I've also got to take out this seatbelt anchor, but that is not bolted into the chassis. It bolts through the chassis to a nut on the other side, so I've got to try and reach from there to here underneath with me clearly 5 foot long arms to do it, or I've got to send the car up in the air with someone in it undoing that and me underneath doing the bit. But I've got a van above me, so I can't go up in the air now. And this is why I'm not keeping the original seat belts. So I've undone it up here. Okay, that was all fine. There's literally no effort whatsoever. Oh, look, there you go. It snapped off. That's all rotten down there. I mean, that bit's cut because of me, because I was trying to find the bolt underneath it. But that is really bad. So there's the other 2 bolts there that I've got to get rid of. So I will, they're on a metal plate, so I can't drill through them. I'm going to see if I can blast them out or grind them out, and then I'll just rinse and repeat on the other side, and then that is all of the bolts out. Oh no, sorry, the ones in the footwell, but there I will do exactly the same. I will just get the 25mm hole saw around them, drill a hole through them, and then when this van here is gone, which should be tomorrow, and I get a bit of free time, I'll get the old skimmy back up on the ramp, lift it up, disconnect anything else from underneath, so pull a clutch cable, not a clutch cable, speedo cable, washer lines, there's a couple of vacuum lines and a coolant lines into the heater, they need to come off, the 2 brake lines need to come off. That should be it. Say that should be it, that's all the book of lies tells me. So I'm going to go and have another study of that tonight, make sure I've not missed anything, and with any luck, once I've cut out all that other stuff, got the other seat out, we're on to a winner, hopefully. It's hard work, this is. We've got the first new part, or newish, second-hand part, first part of the puzzle. Ignore the light behind me, it's turned into an epilepsy encourager. I've got to have a look at that. So I've got a gearbox. This is a nice Getrag 6-speed out of a BMW 120i or 320i. It was out of one of them, they're both the same. It's complete. It's got a friction plate with it, so I can probably use that for spacing purposes. Doesn't make any funny noises. It's got a slave cylinder on it as well, and I'm going to have to make up some sort of adapter or buy the other half of this off a scrap car to mate up to my whatever I'm making at the other end. It's got a mount already on it, a cross member, which appears to be in good nick. The donut's good, spins freely, doesn't make any funny noises. Shifter's complete, it's a bit tatty, but that's going anyway. I've already ripped the boot off. It's nice and precise, it gets all gears. Princely sum of 60 quid, happy days. I managed to sell the exhaust system for 80 and bought that for 60, so I'm 20 quid up. I think I'll probably spend on something else, but that's going to sit in the pot and go for whatever else I decide to buy. So my next job, once I've actually finally got the body off, is start mocking up how this goes in, once I've got an engine to go with it, but stuff stuck to my phone here. Once I decide what that engine is, but as you see, with a BMW gearbox, I try and go for a BMW engine. To make things easy, it should mount up. Bolt pattern should be the same. I say should, but we know what automotive engineers are like. They change their minds like they change their pants. So we'll see how that goes. That's probably just going to sit in storage for a bit now whilst I work out finishing off the body, which isn't far off, but it's taking its time because other things are in the workshop or have been in the workshop. They're not now. And well, I'll keep you posted on Engine Gate. Update. Body is not off, but everything is ready. Every bolt is out, has been cut. Lines have been removed. It's not very light under there, is it? With light on. So all looms disconnected, handbrake cables cut, speedo cable disconnected, all bolts cut out, drilled out, smashed out, ground out, all those bad boys up there, all done. But big timber job is broken out, so I can't drop the car off the lift for the moment. So when I do, I can then get the legs of the lift, get these bad boys under the wheel arch and just try and lift it all the way up. But I've followed the list, I've ticked everything off the list. The book of lies has been followed to the letter. I have cut some, sorry I'm trying to make a coffee here at the same time. I have cut some earths and heater lines because they're not needed again. That engine's not going back in the car, and they're old and perished rubber anyway, so they don't need to be replaced. So I'm going to call it time on this episode for the time being and start fresh on the next one. So once I've got all this timber job out of the way, and that's only half of it. Once that's out of the way, I can lower the car down and start with getting the body off. So I say this every time, but with any luck, in the next video, the body will be coming off, and I will be jumping for joy, and I will be smiling. But I'm actually smiling now. This is my happy face. But hopefully it will be happy days in the next video, and all will be right with the world, and I'll be able to see what kind of a mess the chassis is or isn't in. I don't think it's too bad. I think it's all surface rust, but I'm willing to be proven wrong by the scimitar gods. They've already proved me wrong in how easy it is to try and separate this body. It's getting the bolts out has been like trying to separate the pages on a porn mag that you found in a bush, and people who are my age will know exactly what I'm talking about. But we'll see. So until next time, see you around. Ta-ra.